Welcome to Live with Chatufa. Now that the Sadic big Emerson Mnangagwa party is over, the old boys club is done. Everyone is back to their shell. Everyone is back to square one. What else now coming after? What is very, very interesting is that soon after the end of this Sadic summit, we are seeing now the streets of social media are fairly quiet, except, of course, for a bit of one or two of congratulatory messages that are coming from, you know, imagine all parastatals like NRZ just waking up today from crawling out from some rock that they were under and coming out to congratulate Emerson Mnangagwa when there's no train that is still running in Zimbabwe. So only to come and congratulate Mnangagwa as if he has really achieved quite a lot through this chairmanship of Sadic. Now that the Sadic is over, the excitement of ZANU-PF is now done. What else are we looking at? Nothing. All the excitement, the harassment, the torture, and everything that we have seen happening, it is over. But one thing that we want to continue to assess is the idea of the survival of Sadic and the integrity of Sadic from where we are today and going onwards. What really is going to be happening? Sadic will never be able to be a force to reckon with. One thing that is very much worrying about Sadic is that it has collapsed a very important portion or part of Sadic or an arm of Sadic that is very, very important. And that is what is called the Sadic Tribunal. Without a working tribunal, Sadic is just a dog with no back. Sadic needs a tribunal. It used to be there. This tribunal used to be there, and it was dismantled because of countries like Zimbabwe and parties like ZANU-PF who don't want to follow the rule of law. The tribunal was there waiting to adjudicate on cases and issues that are pertaining to whatever issues that are happening within Sadic. It's not for the heads of state to be the ones that sit down and start to judge over another head of state. It doesn't happen like that. They have to be a tribunal, which ZANU-PF contributed in destroying. They did not want the tribunal. They continued to make noise, put pressure until that tribunal was disbanded. ZANU-PF lost a case, if you still remember, during the time of the land reform, when some white farmers took their issue to the Sadic Tribunal. It's like some kind of a court that was formulated by Sadic, and that ruled against the land reform. It actually spoke and said if land is to be taken, then it has to be compensated for. And quite a lot of other issues that were pertaining to human rights were voted negatively by the tribunal against Zimbabwe and ZANU-PF, and that did not augur well with ZANU-PF. And they started to make quite a lot of noise each time that there are meetings of Sadic lambasting the tribunal. And I don't know how far they or how they succeeded in finally having the tribunal disbanded. So as we speak right now, Sadic does not have a tribunal, and that is why we have problems with issues like what we are seeing in Zimbabwe, the illegitimacy of Mnangagwa, the stolen elections. Right now, if there was a tribunal, the tribunal was going to be sitting. Some people we could take issues with the Sadic Tribunal, and that was acting as an independent court of Sadic, which will not favor anyone, which is not leaned on anyone, which is not corrupted by these presidents. They don't have, or they did not have control over the Sadic Tribunal. So I think now they are so comfortable because there is no tribunal. They can continue to do what they want. And with the way that Mnangagwa has succeeded in stealing elections and continuing brutalizing people and going on as the leader without anyone within the region standing against him or rebuking him, we are likely going to be seeing some of these things beginning to develop, especially in countries like Botswana, because the man in Botswana is a bit ruthless. It has not yet been seen clearly, but the man, I know the man. The man is a bit ruthless and is also more of a dictator, and that is going to be something that we will continue to experience because Botswana is getting into the elections also, and these elections that are upcoming are likely going to, cause a lot of friction within the country, and some people might end up having big problems when it comes to their issue. Chakwera also is also having elections in Malawi that are coming, and we do understand that there is somebody who was given $3 million by Mnangagwa. I don't know who it is between Masisi and Chakwera to help them during the campaigns of the upcoming elections in their own countries. So Mnangagwa has really managed, to buy these guys one after the other, each one receiving money, each one receiving trinkets and the khaki envelopes. And this is why he has finally managed to have put them all in his pocket. And they are just puppets, and they all just laughing and grinning when they see him, because they know that they've taken quite a lot that belongs to ZANU-PF and Emerson Mnangagwa. That's where we have a problem now for the very same people to be able to sit down and caucus on their own and speak against Mnangagwa. It can't happen. It can't happen. Nobody can even start that discussion. So that's why they just turn a blind eye to all the atrocities, the arrests of the people, the murders that we have seen, the disappearance of people in Zimbabwe. Nothing is happening. Nobody's talking about it. Or because these are not the right people who are supposed to be talking about this. Because if they were men of integrity, they could stand as a tribunal, but they can't. So we definitely need a tribunal in Sadic. But anyway, I don't think if we finally take Zimbabwe and Zimbabwe becomes the new great Zimbabwe, we would ever need to join something like this. This has proven on its own that it is just an old boys club. It is just, some billionaires club. And why should we bother ourselves in joining this defunct and dead organization that can't stand for what is right, that can defend its principles? So it is just a big failure in Sadic, and it's a shameful thing that has happened in Sadic. No matter even if they can go around putting on expensive suits and driving in expensive cars, but these guys have simply shown the whole world that they are nothing. They are spineless, and they are not any men of integrity, men that can be trusted, men that can stand on principles, on democracy, and can protect innocent civilians of the Sadic region. So they will continue to go down in history as failures. And I just pray that problems must also come to their own countries, so that they can also lose ground. These people just have to be defeated in their countries. People like Chakwera, we expected quite a lot from him. Unfortunately, very disappointing. And I wish that he can be beaten in the upcoming election. And we also, of course, know that Zambia is also preparing. Mnangagwa is helping so much to think that Lungu is going to win in the upcoming election. So we are still standing with Zambia and praying for President Hichilema for him to proceed again in the second term. And as for other countries, we are still watching to see what is going to be happening. South Africa is done, and we will be looking into where we are going. But of course, remember, Ramaphosa also is not going to last long, because this very GNU, by the way, is not going to last long. It's going to collapse, and once it collapses, and then they are coming back to square one, but Ramaphosa won't be able to stand the ground again. So we will see what will be happening as from then and onwards. And some normal people must be coming into these offices. We want some people that are a bit normal, people that are a bit human, who can come and take over these offices and can be leaders of the region. And we can begin to see life becoming better for the people of the region, the countries of the region, as well as seeing development happening. We are one of the less developed countries, blocks in Africa, because we do have people that are just lying. They are not honest politicians. They are into corruption. They are into self-enrichment. And that's why we are not getting where we are supposed to get. So this is what it is. So if in the event that we will have new leaders and new people coming in, and maybe a new Sadic is formed, whether it was going to be called whatever other name, or the other countries that are likely going to pull out will have to form their own, and then countries that are progressive can come on their own, come up with something that does have teeth, that can bite, not what we are seeing happening with this very dead Sadic. It's just as dead as Dodo. So this is what it is. We are so grateful that you are always supporting the platform and being there for us. Each time that we post, we see you available. And thank you so much for supporting the platform and for always remembering to subscribe. For those that have not yet, we will continue to be giving you updates as the day continues. Otherwise, remain blessed, family. Thank you so much. I want to hear what you think. Do you think Sadic without a tribunal can ever be anything at all? Otherwise, put your comment and also subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for joining me. Remain blessed. Till we meet again. Shalom.